Hello friend, this is BAWLER again, and this is important news for you. Please subscribe to my channel, it's very important. Ukraine is on the verge of seizing a vital piece of land from Russian forces, the village of Tyotkino, a small yet strategically located settlement in Russia's Kursk Oblast. This operation has been made possible due to a powerful combination of American F-16 fighter jets and Swedish surveillance aircraft. But before diving into the latest developments, it's crucial to understand why Tyotkino holds such significance. Although Tyotkino may seem insignificant at first glance, a small town of roughly 4,000 residents located on the Russian side of the border, resting on the left bank of a river in Kursk. A closer look at the map reveals its importance. Tyotkino is positioned on a wedge-shaped extension of Russian land that juts into Ukraine like a small peninsula. It is surrounded on three sides, north, west, and south, by Ukrainian territory. As military expert Vasyl Pekno describes, the village acts as a wedge into Ukraine's border. These irregular borders, remnants of history, offer both tactical headaches and opportunities. From Russia's standpoint, Tyotkino is both a vulnerable and valuable location. It is difficult to defend but provides a direct route into Ukraine's Sumy Oblast. Holding onto it allows Russian forces to stage attacks and maneuver across the border. For Ukraine, however, Tyotkino is an ideal target. It can nearly encircle the town and attack from multiple directions, overwhelming Russian troops and using the position to push deeper into Kursk, forming a defensive buffer to shield Sumy and Kyiv oblasts. That's why the area has witnessed repeated clashes since the full-scale war began. In March 2024, Ukraine-based Russian fighters from the Freedom of Russia Legion, a group of anti-Putin paramilitaries, launched a cross-border raid into Tyotkino and briefly seized control. Russian forces eventually regained the town. In August 2024, Ukraine again attacked, but Russian defenders repelled the assault. In May 2025, Ukraine renewed its efforts with a new offensive in Kursk Oblast, launching strikes just before Putin's Victory Day on May 9th. This time, the campaign appears far more successful, carefully timed and tactically precise. Ukrainian forces noticed Russia had shifted its focus elsewhere and left Tyotkino with minimal defenses, creating a prime window for attack. Ukraine surrounded the town and launched coordinated airstrikes on nearby command posts, drone centers, and troop concentrations. The strikes decimated dozens of Russian soldiers and destroyed critical hardware. Over the past 2 weeks alone, 15 separate bombings have hit the area, killing around 300 Russian troops and significantly degrading Russia's military strength in the region. Reacting swiftly, Russia dispatched reinforcements to prevent encirclement. These included units from the Sumy offensive and reserves with self-propelled artillery, supply trucks, and ammunition. However, Ukraine had already been tracking their movements. Their surveillance led them to Rilsk, a nearby Russian base, and even identified a cultural center storing Russian equipment. Utilizing US-provided HIMARS rocket systems, Ukraine destroyed the cultural center in a precision strike. The explosion, captured by drones and shown on Ukraine 365's Telegram channel, delayed Russia's reinforcements, giving Ukrainian troops even more room to advance. Now, an estimated 250 Russian troops are trapped in Tyotkino with no clear escape as Ukrainian drones monitor every road. A full takeover could occur within days. Yet Ukraine's most decisive victory may have occurred not on land but in the skies, thanks to American F-16s and Swedish AEW&C aircraft. On paper, Russia's air force dwarfs Ukraine's, over 4,200 aircraft, including over 800 jets and 1,600 helicopters, versus Ukraine's 324 aircraft total. Russia's Su-35 is one of the most advanced jets in the world, with superior speed, agility, radar, and missile capabilities compared to the older F-16s supplied to Ukraine. Despite this, Ukraine turned the tables with strategic ingenuity. Knowing its F-16s couldn't beat Su-35s in direct combat, Ukraine relied on Sweden's Sub-340 AEW&C aircraft, equipped with PS-890 ASA radar. This system can detect enemy aircraft up to 250 miles away, deep into Russian territory. With that early warning, Ukraine could launch AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles before Su-35s got within range. And that's exactly what happened. Ukrainian F-16s shot down a Russian Su-35 on June 7, 2025, marking the first confirmed air-to-air kill of a Su-35 by Ukraine. The jet crashed near the border, the pilot ejected, but the destruction was verified by drone surveillance and a Russian rescue helicopter. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense confirmed the downing via social media. While Russia had lost Su-35s before, mainly to ground-based air defenses, this incident was the first of its kind and demonstrated that even aging F-16s could be deadly when paired with modern surveillance systems. Each Su-35 costs around $85 million, so every loss inflicts not only military damage but economic pain. Ukraine can now replicate this tactic using Swedish radar to detect Su-35s and F-16s to eliminate them from a distance. It's a textbook example of adapting to adversity, leveraging allied support and tactical surprise to seize control of the skies, not just over Tyotkino but across parts of Kursk Oblast. Now, Russian troops in the area are growing anxious. Some are warning commanders that Ukraine could soon establish dominant defensive positions in the region. If Tyotkino falls, Ukraine could fortify it, bring in reinforcements, and launch further attacks, making Kursk a key battleground. Russia would then be forced to shift troops and resources away from other fronts, potentially weakening its positions in places like Sumy. This could lead to a grinding war of attrition, one that favors Ukraine if it can maintain its defenses. It may also create opportunities for Ukraine to reclaim lost ground or even take the fight deeper into Russian territory. In essence, what may seem like a small battle could have massive consequences across the entire front line. Alternatively, Ukraine might choose to hold back, maintain pressure around Tyotkino, and lure Russian forces into a trap. As Pekno suggests, the best move might be to let Russia keep trying to hold this precarious position, surrounded on three sides. Every new aircraft or unit they send can be destroyed. Politically, Russia can't order a retreat, even if it makes sense militarily and which traps them in a losing cycle. Currently, Russia has no good options. Reinforcements are being intercepted, and retreat is politically unacceptable. Ukraine has taken the initiative, using strategy, surveillance, and smart weaponry to change the course of this conflict. For much of the war, Ukraine had to defend while Russia chipped away at its territory. Now the tables are turning. Through operations like Spiderweb and daring offensives like this one, Ukraine is not only defending but attacking, striking Russian land, shaking Putin's confidence, and reclaiming control. Watch our coverage on the liberation of Andreevka and Ukraine's missile strikes on key Russian command posts. Subscribe to stay informed with frontline updates.